Hello people, this is New Sensei. I don't really have a specific topic in mind for this video, but I just finished running a clinic for a group of high school students, and you just got me thinking about, when we give new people club bows, they're really light bows. They're 15 pound, no more than 20 pounds. And it's really fun to use these light bows again. And for a lot of people who are starting archery, the idea of getting a light bow may seem to be a little unappealing. A lot of people want to go for high draw weights. They want to avoid that stigma of low draw weights. And because of that, even people who would benefit from a low draw weight tend to be averse to buying or looking for low draw weights. And I guess this video, it's going to be a casual video. I'm going to spend a bit of time shooting low draw weights just to illustrate that a low draw weight can still be very fun. What I've got here is the Cartel Internature. At least I think it's the Cartel Internature. The limbs certainly say it is. I'm not sure if this is the actual Internature model. But what's interesting about this bow is that, well, firstly, it's a very small bow. This is a junior bow, and it's only 14 pounds. But the riser, and this is a takedown bow, by the way, the limbs are wood. The riser, I believe, is fiberglass. So it's that plastic looking feel. But what's surprising about this bow is that it has all the bushings for a sight, as well as a stabilizer. And that's kind of strange. Now, this is what we give to our junior shooters in the Come and Try program, as well as adult shooters who have a hard time pulling back 20 pounds or even 15 pounds. So we give them the smaller bow so that they can become confident and familiar with using a bow. And for many people, this is all they need. And again, when we become more experienced archers, we tend to go away from these light bows and kiddie bows. But there is a lot of fun to be had while shooting this. So what I'm going to do today is to spend a bit of time just shooting club arrows from a club bow to show that even a light draw weight can be accessible and fun. So I'm at 7 meters or so, and I'm using a bunch of random club Eastern Apollo arrows, 840 spine I believe, from a 14 pound bow. But it works really well. They come out really nicely, and I'm shooting 3 under using the gap method. So, and these light bows do teach you, or they do facilitate you learning aiming methods because they're so light that you can use whatever method you want, and it turns out really nicely. So let's send a few arrows down range. You probably can't see it from this distance. I might bring it in a few times to show, but you will definitely hear I'm starting to hit the same spot. That's off to the left. And for a lot of people, this is all you really want. It's just a bow that you can shoot, or anyone can shoot, and just have fun in your backyard. And yes, this is a 54-inch bow. I'm completely fine using it. There's no harm using a short bow. That was alright. I mean, what you would notice in this process is that there's definitely a lack of oomph. I mean, even a 30 pound bow, it does punch the target quite hard. This is a really soft bow. Nice. That's a X right there. And the fact that it's so light means that, again, you can spend as much time as you want at full draw trying to get it right. You're not being pressured to execute the shot and maintain your back tension as strongly. And again, for people who are just starting out, you don't really need a heavy bow. This sort of thing is challenging because archery inherently is a sport that is about accuracy and focus. So if you have a bow that allows you to focus without fighting against it, then there's nothing wrong with starting with a 15 pound or under. Alright, this is the angle I normally use when doing form checks with the high-end bows. So, it's a bit of fun with the junior bows. I mean, as an instructor, or for those of you who are instructors, how often do you actually spend time with your own club bows? And recently we've been running some fun club match plays using only club bows. And that can be quite challenging because of course we used our own competitive bows. And going back to a 15-pound bow is challenging. A lot of people don't know how to use them. And every now and then the idea of focusing on your shot process comes back. Man, this is so light, it's nearly effortless. That's a nice shot. There we go. Starting to hit the same spot now. There we go. Starting to pay more attention to the anchor and the gap. Yes! Sounds good. And look, considering this is a bunch of random arrows, like having, 6 arrows touching at 7 meters for a 14-pound bow, there's nothing wrong with that. Anyone starting archery would love to do this. And having this sort of bow lets you do this. There's nothing wrong with it. That arrow is a little different from the others. It drops low on the same aiming point. Man, this isn't about doing kill shots. We're not hunting here. This is just that personal challenge of trying to shoot well. Some people challenge themselves by shooting the heaviest straw weight possible. Try the lightest straw weight possible. It's actually not as easy as it looks. And again, you see there's a fairly reasonable grouping here. Using a light draw weight really makes you pay attention to your form. That's how we learn after all, unlike bows. And I would dare say that if you spend a decent amount of time on a light bow, whether a club bow or your own bow, you will learn faster. Your rate of progress will be greater than someone who is shooting a heavier bow, because that person will be struggling with increasing their stamina and their strength, while at the same time trying to improve their form. Whereas this one, your physical stamina and strength isn't a factor. It's purely form. And if you're doing archery purely as a form sport or a way to practice form, then this is all you really need. And you still go through the same motions. This is still archery. Still trying to hit the target. You're doing so in a way that is much more controlled. And again, this is the sort of thing you can imagine doing safely in your backyard with your children. And if you have people who you might introduce to archery, having a super light bow is a very gentle way to get them to try it. After all, this is what we give to our juniors, our 8-year-olds, our 10-year-olds, our Year 7s and 8s who are about 13 or 14. And not everyone wants to be a professional archer or a hunter on the first day. And there's something oddly relaxing about just having a decent sized target and a short distance, just trying to hammer it without being overly masculine about it. And again, you're still practicing those archery skills. You still need process, you still need to anchor, you still need back tension, but it's not as punishing. It's right in the middle. Not the best shot, still gold. The thing is that, again, a lot of people will, the trend, especially on YouTube, is that people will pull out their 45-pound bow or their 50-pound bow and just stump or shoot targets and, enjoy themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. But the funny thing is, we're kind of reversing the trend with this video. I'm shooting a lighter bow than usual. That was a bad anchor there. You still make mistakes, of course. But again, this is the sort of bow we give to our juniors, right? So if we want to teach our new shooters how to use archery equipment, you might as well learn to use this well. It looks impressive when you are standing in front of a group of 10-year-olds and you get a goal on your first shot because they think you're the best person in the world. Beautiful. It still rewards you for shooting well. I didn't even draw all the way there. That was a crappy shot. That was way low. There we go. That's more like it. I mean, isn't this the sort of thing you started doing archery for? Just seeing how many bullseyes you can get? I mean, there is a certain pleasure in shooting a heavy draw weight bow. There's definitely that sense of power and satisfaction. But at the same time, remember, archery is about hitting a target, and as long as you have a target to shoot at and a bow to use, this is just satisfying. And to many people, this is all you need. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't forget the simple pleasures of archery. This is New Sensei. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.